Welcome back to Tiny Ninja the Hidden Lineage. The sanctuary has fallen, the dominion has been driven back, and the ember has awakened. But victory always comes with a price. The heroes who survived the battle are no longer the same people who entered the sanctuary months before. Tiny Ninja has changed. No longer merely an apprentice, he has become something rare, a warrior touched by the ember itself, honored by allies, feared by enemies. Yet, even as old wounds begin to heal, new mysteries call from beyond the horizon. Ancient truths lie buried beneath the world. The Dominion still hunts, and somewhere in the forgotten places of the earth, the past waits to be discovered. This is Season 3. Morning light filtered through broken stone archways. The sanctuary still stood, but barely. Weeks had passed since the Dominion assault. The shattered towers remained scarred by fire and battle. Great sections of wall had collapsed, exposing ancient chambers hidden for centuries. Ember water no longer flowed through every channel, though portions of the old system had begun to glow once more. Life had returned, slowly. Rebels worked throughout the sanctuary. Some repaired walls, others harvested food from hidden gardens. Children laughed in places where soldiers had once fought. For the first time in many years, hope existed. High atop the tallest surviving tower, Tiny Ninja stood alone. His red scarf moved softly in the mountain wind, eyes closed, breathing steady. The ember flowed through him effortlessly. No struggle, no resistance, no fear. A faint glow pulsed beneath his skin. Below him he could hear everything: hammering, conversation, footsteps, flowing water, birdsong, every sound distinct, every heartbeat clear. He opened his eyes. Golden ember energy briefly shimmered within them. "You're getting difficult to sneak up on." Tiny Ninja smiled before turning. "Kairo." The old master stood behind him, arms folded beneath his weathered cloak. "Your footsteps still favor your left side," Tiny Ninja said. Kairo raised an eyebrow. "I've had that injury for 20 years. You should stretch more." Kairo stared at him for several seconds, then laughed. A genuine laugh. "Perhaps you truly have become insufferable." Tiny Ninja laughed as well. For a moment, they simply stood together overlooking the sanctuary. Teacher and student, master and apprentice. Yet something had changed. The hierarchy remained, but the distance between them had vanished. Finally, Kairo spoke. "When I found you, you could barely hold a blade." Tiny Ninja looked out toward the horizon. "I remember. You fought with anger." "I remember that too. You wanted strength." Tiny Ninja nodded. "I did." Kairo stepped beside him. "And now?" Tiny Ninja was quiet. "Now I want understanding." The old master's expression softened. "The ember has chosen well." The sanctuary courtyard buzzed with activity. Ashara tightened the straps on her travel pack while arguing with two rebels, attempting to overburden themselves with supplies. "You don't need 3 cooking pots." "We might." "You absolutely will not." Nearby, Akari inspected weapons spread across a stone table. Her pink scarf stood out against the ancient gray ruins. Tiny Ninja approached. Akari looked up. "You've decided?" It wasn't a question. Tiny Ninja nodded. "We need answers." Akari carefully returned a blade to its sheath. The sanctuary archives were nearly destroyed. Whatever history survives exists elsewhere. Tiny Ninja looked toward the mountains beyond the forest. "The visions keep getting stronger." Akari studied him carefully. "What do you see?" Tiny Ninja hesitated. "Cities. Underground. Light beneath stone. Voices." Akari remained silent. There is something else, Tiny Ninja admitted. What? Tiny Ninja lowered his voice. I hear someone calling my name. Before Akari could respond, Ashara interrupted. Wonderful! Ancient ghost voices. That's exactly what every journey needs. Tiny Ninja smiled. You seem excited. I am not excited, Ashara replied. You've sharpened your sword 6 times. Ashara looked offended. Preparation is not excitement, Akari smirked. It's excitement. Ashara pointed at both of them. Don't start. The 3 shared a laugh. For the first time in a long while, they felt like a family. Before departure, Kairo gathered everyone inside the sanctuary's central chamber. An ancient ember symbol glowed softly beneath their feet. The old master stood before them. There is something all of you must understand before we leave. He gestured toward carvings recently uncovered during reconstruction. 4 symbols surrounded a central flame. Tiny Ninja recognized them immediately. The virtues. Kairo nodded. The foundation upon which the Tiny Lineage was built. He touched the first symbol, harmony. To live in balance with creation. The second, compassion. To protect life whenever possible. The third, courage. To stand firm against darkness regardless of fear. Finally, the fourth, humility. To remember that power exists to serve. Silence settled over the chamber. Kairo looked directly at Tiny Ninja. The giants who once walked this earth forgot these virtues. Tiny Ninja listened intently. They sought dominion. They sought worship. They sought power. Kairo's voice grew solemn. And they fell. The old master looked toward everyone gathered. If we forget who we are, we will share their fate. No one spoke. No one needed to. By midday, the expedition stood assembled. Tiny Ninja, Akari, Ashara, Kairo, 6 rebel scouts, enough to travel quietly, enough to survive. Hopefully. The sanctuary gates slowly opened. Tiny Ninja paused. He looked back one final time. This place had changed him, saved him, awakened him. A young rebel approached nervously. Will you come back? Tiny Ninja knelt. Yes, I might. The child smiled. Promise? Tiny Ninja smiled warmly. I promise. The gates closed behind them. And for the first time in his life, Tiny Ninja walked not as the last survivor of a forgotten people, but as the guardian of their future. Ahead lay mystery, danger, truth, and somewhere beyond the horizon, the lost history of the hidden lineage. The first 3 days passed quietly, almost too quietly. The expedition moved east through the ancient forest, untouched by the Dominion. Massive trees stretched high above them, their branches weaving together to form a living canopy that sheltered the travelers below. For the first time in years, Tiny Ninja found himself walking through a world that felt truly alive. Birdsong echoed overhead. Small woodland creatures darted between roots. Crystal clear streams cut through the forest floor. It was beautiful and unsettling. The Dominion rarely ignored beauty, which meant this place had remained hidden or forgotten. Neither possibility brought comfort. Late on the 4th morning, the group halted beside a rocky ridgeline. Akari crouched low, examining disturbed earth. Fresh tracks. Ashara knelt beside her. Animals, maybe? Akari shook her head. No, doesn't look like it. Kairo approached. Dominion? Everyone immediately grew alert. Tiny Ninja closed his eyes. The ember flowed through him. He listened. The forest spoke. And branches creaked softly. Leaves shifted. Birds sang. Then, nothing. An absence. A silence. Tiny Ninja's eyes opened. They're close. One of the rebel scouts looked nervous. How close? Tiny Ninja pointed toward the trees. 300 meters. The scout's eyes widened. You can sense that? Tiny Ninja nodded. The ember senses disturbances. Ashara adjusted her rifle. Good, because I'd rather not be surprised by killer robots before lunch. Suddenly, a sharp whistle echoed from above. The rebel scout stationed in a nearby tree dropped to the ground. Movement, he pointed with his fingers. The group immediately took defensive positions. Kairo calmly raised his staff. Steady. Through the dense undergrowth, crimson lights began appearing. 1, 3, 10. All scouts. The Dominion attacked without warning. Pulse fire erupted through the forest. Contact! Ashara shouted. Everyone scattered. Tiny Ninja moved instantly. A Dominion scout lunged from the brush. Tiny Ninja sidestepped effortlessly. The scout fired. Tiny Ninja twisted, the energy blast passing harmlessly by. One fluid motion, one strike. The scout collapsed. Nearby, Akari danced through combat with practiced precision. Her pink scarf flowed behind her as she moved, graceful, deadly. An enforcer charged. Akari leapt upward, planted a foot against a tree trunk, and flipped over the machine man, driving her blade through his exposed power core. The enforcer exploded. Ashara laughed. Show off. Akari smiled. I learned from watching you. Ashara grinned. Smart student. 2 additional scouts emerged behind Ashara. Tiny Ninja saw them immediately. Ashara! She turned just as Tiny Ninja appeared between them. His movements no longer resembled traditional combat. He flowed. The ember guided him. 1 scout attacked. Tiny Ninja redirected the strike. The second fired. Tiny Ninja anticipated it before the trigger was pulled. He moved. The blast struck the first scout instead. A second later, both machines lay motionless. The rebels stared. One whispered softly, He's becoming something else. Kairo overheard. He did not disagree. The forest suddenly grew cold. Tiny Ninja felt it immediately. A familiar presence. Danger. He looked toward the ridgeline. Standing atop the rocks was a hunter. Not Vare. He's gone. Something newer. Sleeker. More advanced. Its armor was black and silver. Its eyes glowed crimson. It spoke. Ember signature confirmed. Everyone froze. The hunter slowly descended. Ashara quietly muttered, Please tell me that's not another Ember Hunter. The machine stopped. Designation. Hunter Prime. Tiny Ninja stepped forward. Everyone else kept moving. Akari immediately objected. No, you can't fight this alone. Tiny Ninja looked at her. I'm not alone. He looked toward Kairo. The old master nodded. We stand together. The hunter raised an energy blade. Objective. Eliminate hidden lineage. Then it attacked. The battle that followed stunned everyone. Tiny Ninja and Kairo fought side by side, perfectly synchronized, teacher and student, master and warrior. Kairo struck first. forcing the hunter onto the defensive. Tiny Ninja followed immediately. The hunter adapted, countered, learned, but so did they. Kairo blocked a devastating strike. Tiny Ninja! Tiny Ninja understood instantly, without words. He leapt. The embers surged. For a brief moment, master and student moved as one. Kairo redirected the hunter's momentum. Tiny Ninja struck. The ember ignited brilliantly. The hunter staggered, then collapsed. Silence returned. Ashara slowly lowered her weapon. Okay then. She looked at Kairo, then Tiny Ninja. That was genuinely terrifying. Kairo smiled. He has surpassed much of what I can teach. Tiny Ninja looked surprised. Kairo? The old master raised a hand. No false humility. Kairo smiled warmly. You are no longer my apprentice. He placed a hand over his heart. You are my brother in the ember. The group fell silent. Tiny Ninja struggled to respond. Finally, he bowed deeply. Then I will honor that trust. By nightfall, the group reached the mountains. As darkness settled, Akari discovered a narrow opening hidden behind a waterfall. Ancient symbols covered the entrance. Tiny Ninja immediately felt something. Not danger, recognition. He stepped toward the cave. The ember within him pulsed softly, waiting, calling. Kairo stared at the symbols.
We'll be back after a quick break.
He wasn't sure what he's seen. He's never seen them before. His expression changed. No. Ashara frowned. What is it? Kairo slowly approached the entrance. By these markings. He looked toward Tiny Ninja. They're older than Sanctuary. Tiny Ninja looked into the darkness beyond. Somewhere deep within the cave, a faint golden light glowed, and for the first time since leaving the sanctuary, Tiny Ninja heard the voice again. Soft, ancient, almost familiar. Welcome home. The cave breathed. There was no other way to describe it. Cool air moved steadily through the stone passage, carrying with it the scent of earth, water, and something older, something untouched by time. The heroes stood silently at the entrance. Before them stretched a vast tunnel, descending deep beneath the mountains. The faint golden glow that Tiny Ninja had seen earlier flickered somewhere far below. Tiny Ninja took a cautious step forward. The ember stirred within him. warm, familiar, welcoming. Akari immediately noticed. You feel it. Tiny Ninja nodded. It feels. He struggled to find the words. Like I've been here before. Kairo looked around thoughtfully. I do not believe any of us have. Tiny Ninja slowly shook his head. No. His eyes remained fixed on the darkness ahead, but part of me has. The expedition lit several emperor lanterns and began their descent. The passage widened as they moved deeper underground. Soon the narrow tunnel gave way to a cavern so enormous that their lantern light barely reached the ceiling. Massive stone pillars rose from the cavern floor like ancient trees. The underground rivers cut through polished stone channels. Great terraces lined the cavern walls. Ashara stopped. What is this place? No one answered immediately, because everyone already knew. They were standing inside the ruins of a city, an underground city. Ancient homes carved directly into the cavern walls surrounded them. Bridges crossed deep chasms. Terraces overflowed with long abandoned gardens. Stone statues watched silently from every direction. Tiny Ninja walked slowly through the forgotten streets. His hand brushed against a weathered stone doorway. The ember pulsed. A memory flashed before him of children laughing, families gathered, music, life. The vision vanished. Tiny Ninja staggered. Akari immediately caught him. What happened? Tiny Ninja steadied himself. I saw them. Ashara frowned. Saw who? Tiny Ninja looked around the city. Our people. At the center of the city stood a great circular chamber. Unlike anything else, this chamber remained untouched, perfect, untarnished. Four enormous statues surrounded a central flame carved from crystal. The walls were covered with paintings, murals, stories. Kairo approached reverently. His hands trembled. The Hall of Origins. Tiny Ninja stepped beside him. You know this place? Kairo nodded slowly. I've heard stories. Only stories. The group moved toward the murals. The first depicted beings descending from the heavens, tall, radiant, magnificent. They were called Watchers. The second mural showed the Watchers among humanity. The third, war, giants, massive Nephilim towering over armies, destroying cities, conquering nations. Ashara folded her arms. So the stories were true. Kairo nodded. Yes. They abandoned their purpose. Tiny Ninja studied the mural closely. The giants looked monstrous, corrupted, twisted, consumed by pride. And his attention shifted to another mural. Smaller figures like them, living beneath mountains, surrounded by light, protected. Akari whispered softly, The Hidden Lineage. Kairo carefully read the ancient inscription beneath the painting. When darkness consumed the children of the Watchers, the Creator preserved those who sought harmony. The chamber fell silent. Tiny Ninja stared at the mural. His entire life had been shaped by questions. Who am I? Why do I exist? Why was I spared? Now, he finally had answers. Deep within the hall stood an ancient stone table. Upon it rested scrolls, preserved inside crystal containers. Tiny Ninja carefully lifted one. The parchment looked impossibly old. Kairo translated slowly. His voice echoed through the chamber. The children of pride sought dominion. They grew mighty in stature but weak in spirit. They brought violence upon the earth. Ashara quietly listened. Kairo continued. The children of humility walked a different path. They chose harmony over conquest, compassion over power, stewardship over dominion. Tiny Ninja looked toward the murals again. They were spared. Kairo nodded, yes. Protected beneath the earth by the Creator himself. Akari smiled softly. Our ancestors. Tiny Ninja remained quiet. He thought of the sanctuary, of the ember, of the virtues, of everything Kairo had taught him. Suddenly it all made sense. We weren't hidden because we were weak. Kairo smiled proudly. No. We were hidden because we carried something precious. At the center of the chamber, the crystal flame suddenly began glowing brighter. Symbols illuminated across the floor. 4 ancient words appeared. Harmony, compassion, courage, humility. The entire room came alive. Ancient voices echoed softly around them. Tiny Ninja stepped toward the flame. The voices grew clearer. Harmony. To walk with creation. Compassion. To protect the vulnerable. Courage. To stand against darkness. Humility. To remember that all power belongs first to the Creator. Tiny Ninja closed his eyes. The ember responded. Not with fire, but with peace. He finally understood. The ember was never intended to be a weapon. It was meant to guide, to protect, to serve. Tears filled Akari's eyes. Tiny Ninja noticed immediately. Akari? She quickly wiped them away. She looked around the chamber. We thought all of this was gone. Tiny Ninja gently placed a hand on her shoulder. It isn't. Akari looked at him. No, it's not. She smiled softly. It isn't. Later that evening, camp was established near the entrance to the ancient city. Most of the group slept. Tiny Ninja sat alone, overlooking the underground ruins. Akari joined him. For several minutes, neither spoke. They simply looked out over the city of their ancestors. Finally, Tiny Ninja broke the silence. My entire life, I thought I was the last. Akari nodded. So did I. Tiny Ninja looked toward her. Were you afraid? Akari laughed quietly. Terrified. Tiny Ninja smiled. I still am. Akari looked surprised. You? Afraid? Tiny Ninja nodded. Every day. Akari looked away. I thought becoming one with the ember would take that away. Tiny Ninja shook his head. It didn't. He looked toward the city below. But it taught me something. What? Tiny Ninja smiled softly. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to keep moving despite it. Akari studied him for several moments. You really have changed. Tiny Ninja looked at her. So have you. Their eyes met. Neither looked away. Neither wanted to. The moment lingered, comfortable, warm. Then suddenly, a distant mechanical sound echoed through the cavern. Everyone immediately stood. Red lights appeared far below among the ruins. Dominion. They had followed them. Ashara drew her weapon. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Tiny Ninja stood. Golden ember energy shimmered softly within his eyes. The Dominion had entered a sacred ground, and the descendants of the hidden lineage would defend it. The ancient city had remained hidden for thousands of years, untouched, forgotten, protected, until now. Far below, among the stone streets and ruined terraces, crimson lights moved through the darkness. One by one, then dozens, the Dominion had found them. Ashara stood at the edge of the overlook, pulse rifle raised. You know, she said, exasperated, for a civilization obsessed with control, they are incredibly good at ruining historical sites. One of the rebel scouts peered over the ledge. How did they find us? Kairo's expression darkened. They followed the hunter's destruction. Tiny Ninja looked down at the advancing machines. No, not here. Everyone turned toward him. Tiny Ninja closed his eyes. The ember flowed through him, listening, feeling, understanding. When he opened his eyes, they glowed softly gold. They felt this place awaken. Akari stepped beside him. The hall! Tiny Ninja nodded. The ember called to us. He looked toward the Dominion, approaching, and they heard it. The first wave arrived moments later. Scouts flooded into the lower streets. Enforcers followed behind them, weapons charging. Then came the hunters, 3 of them. Ashara groaned. Why is it always hunters? Kairo calmly raised his staff. Because they fear us. Tiny Ninja drew his blade. Then let's give them a reason to. The battle erupted. Pulse fire illuminated the ancient city. Rebels moved through abandoned streets, taking defensive positions among crumbling structures. Ashara fired repeatedly. 3 scouts fell. A 4th charged her position. Before it could strike, Akari descended from above, blade flashing. The machine collapsed instantly. Ashara smiled. I had that. Akari raised an eyebrow. You were reloading. I still had it. Akari smirked. You tell yourself that. Nearby, Tiny Ninja moved through the battlefield like flowing water. The embers surrounded him, not as flame, as light. Every movement was precise, graceful, beautiful. A scout fired. Tiny Ninja sidestepped before the trigger was fully depressed. An enforcer charged. Tiny Ninja redirected its momentum, sending it crashing into a stone pillar. A hunter attacked from above. Tiny Ninja didn't even look, he simply moved. The hunter's strike missed entirely. One fluid motion later, the machine lay destroyed. The rebels watched in awe. One whispered softly, He's become a legend. Kairo overheard. His expression remained calm. But inside, he knew the rebels spoke truth. As the battle intensified, the Hall of Origin suddenly began to tremble. Golden light erupted from the chamber. Ancient symbols illuminated throughout the entire city. What was once dark became lit. Stone mechanisms groaned to life. Water channels long dormant began flowing once more. The city awakening. Tiny Ninja froze. The ember pulsed violently, not with pain, but recognition. A voice echoed through the chamber, ancient, gentle, powerful. Children of the hidden lineage. Everyone stopped. Even the Dominion machines hesitated. The voice continued. You have returned. The crystal flame at the center of the hall erupted in brilliant golden light. Images filled the air. Memories, ancient villages thriving beneath the earth. Families gathered together. Children training. Watchers of light standing among the tiny lineage. The heroes watched in silence. Then the vision changed. Darkness, war, the flood, the destruction of the giants. Finally, the surviving tiny lineage descending deeper underground, hidden, protected, preserved. Tiny Ninja stepped forward. Who are you? The voice answered. I am the first keeper. Kairo fell to one knee immediately. The guardian of our people. The voice continued. The hidden lineage was preserved for a purpose. Tiny Ninja listened intently. The darkness that once consumed the Nephilim will rise again. Every member of the group grew silent. The Dominion is merely the beginning. The crystal flame expanded. A map of the world appeared. Several points glowed brightly. Tiny Ninja recognized one immediately. The sanctuary. Another marked the city they currently occupied. But 3 additional locations glowed, untouched, unknown. The first keeper spoke. The pillars of creation remain. Kairo looked stunned. They still exist? Yes. Seek them, awaken them, for only united shall the lineage endure what is coming. Ashara looked thoroughly confused. Am I the only one who feels like we're missing several thousand years of context? Akari laughed softly. No. The rest of us are simply pretending we understand. Even Tiny Ninja smiled. The first keeper turned toward him. The entire chamber seemed to focus on him alone. child of Ember. Tiny Ninja stepped forward. Yes? The chamber fell silent. You are not merely one with the Ember. Tiny Ninja frowned. What do you mean? The answer changed everything. You are its chosen bearer. Silence. Absolute silence. Tiny Ninja stared. No. The first keeper continued. The Ember awakened because of you. Akari looked toward Tiny Ninja in disbelief. Kairo lowered his head, almost as though he had always suspected. Tiny Ninja struggled to speak. I don't understand. You will. Suddenly, alarms erupted throughout the cavern. More Dominion forces. Hundreds. The ancient city could not hold. Kairo looked toward the approaching army. We must leave. The first keeper spoke one final time. Return when the final pillar calls. The crystal flame dimmed. The chamber fell silent. Tiny Ninja looked back one final time. So many answers. Akari touched his arm gently. And even more questions. The heroes fled through ancient tunnels as the Dominion forces poured into the city behind them. Stone collapsed. Explosions echoed. Ancient bridges shattered. The forgotten city disappeared beneath falling rock. Hidden once more, perhaps forever. The heroes finally emerged onto a mountain ridge at sunrise. Exhausted. Changed. Tiny Ninja looked toward the horizon. 3 new locations. 3 ancient mysteries. 1 destiny. The journey had truly begun. Far away, deep within Dominion territory, a new figure watched recordings of the battle. Unlike the hunters, unlike the generals, older, stronger. Its eyes glowed with ancient red light. It spoke only 3 words. Find the bearer. The truth has been revealed. The hidden lineage was never meant to survive in secrecy forever. Tiny Ninja and the heroes now journeyed toward the ancient pillars of creation, seeking answers about their people, the Ember, and the darkness rising beyond the horizon. Thank you for listening to Tiny Ninja, the Hidden Lineage. Be sure to follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. Subscribe on YouTube at Tiny Ninja, the Hidden Lineage for artwork, lore, character reveals, and exclusive content from the world of Tiny Ninja. Please support the show. Links can be found in the channel description. Any donations go directly toward improving the podcast and bringing the world of Tiny Ninja to life. The journey has only just begun, and somewhere beyond the horizon, destiny is waiting.